everybody, welcome back for another comic book review video.
It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. Flash Rebirth #1. Have to talk about this.
Yep.
I've really fallen in love. Johnny has really introduced me to comic books in general over the last 6 months or so. And Flash stands out to me so much, just as much as Batman. Everybody loves Batman. Yeah. I love Flash. Amazing character. Probably my favorite comic book character.
Yeah, he's great. He's obviously super popular with a lot of people. And Rebirth was Wally West was really the main character of the Rebirth special. And obviously he was Flash, and he's now Kid Flash, and now he's back to being Flash again.
So Barry is a CSI technician for the police.
Yep.
In this storyline, and he's on a case, and a woman is murdered, and it reminds him of his own mother's case. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to take him off. The police chief's trying to take him off the case because he's like, "Oh, this is too familiar for you."
Yeah, it's too personal.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Of course, no, I'm going to be on this case."
We get a really nice scene where Barry talks to his dad, and he's really kind of conflicted about the case, like we said, and it's really cool to see him talk to his dad, because obviously when the Flash first came out, he didn't have his dad. He had to go and solve the murder and get Zoom in prison. We get to see how his dad's perspective is so much different. He says, "Oh, you're so much like your mother, and you worry too much." And this issue really goes just to show how worried Barry is, and you kind of see his perspective just before Rebirth happens, and how his life was kind of in a flux.
Barry's dad is basically telling him, "You need to slow down. I know you have a fast-paced life, but you need to slow down and enjoy life." And while Barry's doing that, Wally comes through the Speed Force and is like, "Do you remember me? Do you remember me?" And that was the big callback to the whole universe rebirth from a week or two ago.
So there's this really cool moment where obviously Wally gets saved by Barry, as happened in the Rebirth special.
Yep.
And they have a little conversation, and Barry finally realizes, I was so caught up and there's so much going on. And when Wally comes back, he realizes how could I forget about Wally? How could I've forgotten, how much else have I forgotten about? And there's this cool moment where this moment
here where Wally's like, "Oh, Barry saved me. He remembered me, and he saved me from the Speed Force." And on the other side of the page, Barry's like, "Wally saved me."
Exactly.
So they both think that they saved each other.
Yeah, it's a really awesome moment.
Yeah, and it kind of puts Barry back into good standing. He's like, "Oh, I really need to get back."
It gives him some perspective as to what's what matters and how he needs to adjust his life.
Basically. Yeah, it reignites his fire basically.
Yeah.
So then he's like, "Oh, I need to go talk to Bruce because that Vision, which was Wally, told me to go see Bruce about his dad's letter."
Yeah, Thomas Wayne's letter from the Flashpoint Paradox. And
to here we got another Watchman.
Yeah, when he gets to Gotham City, he goes to the Batcave, and he asks about the button, what's going on, and the letter, and how are they connected somehow? And they talk about the Flashpoint thing that Wally tried to explain to them.
And basically they said all we have is a little bit of evidence and a theory. We need to explore this more.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
it's kind of a cool it's almost like a buddy detective, because even Barry says, while he might be the world's greatest detective, I've always thought of him as a scientist.
Yeah. And
obviously Barry can relate on that level. It's really cool. They're my two favorite comic book characters.
Me too. And
it's just so cool to see them interact, and then Barry makes a joke about how he wants to make a joke and kind of give some levity to the situation. Mm-hmm. But Superman said one time that you should never laugh in the Batcave.
Yeah, there's no laughing in the Batcave.
Yeah, and it's so cool, and I'm excited to see them going forward. Hopefully they can, in the Batman title and in the Flash title going forward, we can see, how they kind of figure out this whole Rebirth situation.
Yeah.
And how, it kind of affects them personally.
They did say that since they have so little evidence and really all they have is a theory at this point, they're not going to bring the Justice League into it yet. So I'm sure at some point it will happen, but
yeah.
I think this is going to be a Batman, Flash storyline here, which is really cool because those are probably my two favorite.
Yeah, I agree. And there's also a little hint at one point when Wally's still with Barry, and he says how he needs to go find the Titans. Yeah. And that's obviously alluding to the fact that the Titans title is coming out next week, the Rebirth edition, and we'll be able to see what happens when Wally finally finds Dick Grayson and Harper and everyone else that he used to be such great teammates with, and see what happens. I'm really looking forward to that.
I was always wondering, this is the Titans cover, I was wondering, what's up with this suit? and they even mentioned that. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you need to get a new suit. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll do that in the Speed Force.
Yeah, they do mention the suit, and I've seen the Rebirth suit for Wally West, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So that's another reason to get excited for Titans, and I'm really looking forward to the Flash title now. This got me even more excited, and I was already really excited. So
I give this Rebirth a solid 4 out of 5. Again, it's hard to go above that because it is just a Rebirth.
Yeah,
and we're going to really see how this plays out. But I'm very excited. What do you give it?
I give it 4 out of 5 as well. It's really, really great, especially for a one-shot like this. I think the thing that really put it over the top for me personally is how connected it is to Rebirth, which was obviously such a meaningful title to everyone. Definitely check it out. We're also going to have videos for Aquaman.
Yep.
And check out our Injustice trailer reaction. So.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching, guys.